Good morning and welcome to Habitat Faith. It's Tuesday, May 19th, and we are ready for another great day of going out there and getting back to work. Habitat Faith is about equipping faith communities to engage their networks and neighborhoods with gospel intentions. I want to share some thoughts from today's reading as we've been going through the Read Scripture app, and then together let's find some gospel conversations in this morning's news. But let's see here. Today we're reading the first 3 chapters of Job, and what really jumped out to me was the story of when Satan attacks Job's health in the 2nd chapter. It reads like this: "And the Lord said to Satan, Behold, he is in your hand, only spare his life. So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and struck Job with the loathsome sores from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head. And he took a piece of broken pottery with which to scrape himself while he sat in the ashes. Then his wife said to him, Do you still hold fast your integrity? Curse God and die." But he said to her, "You speak as one of the foolish women would speak. Shall we receive good from God, and shall we not receive evil?" In all this, Job did not sin with his lips. Man. Now, if you're thinking to yourself that this is a really crazy story, I can understand exactly where you're coming from. I really encourage you to check out the Read Scripture app. Before each book, you'll watch a really great overview video of each book in the Bible that really helps you understand what you are about to read and why it reads the way it does. And Job is a perfect example of why you would need something like that. So, when you read this, when I read this, I just felt such a sense that Job knows who he is and has already made up his mind about his Creator well before hard times hit him. Maybe I should do that a little bit more in my life. Have you really made up your mind about the matters of the heart and faith before you are really hit with hard times? And some of you are really getting hit hard with this pandemic. We're experiencing everything, depending on where you are or where you were before the pandemic, really makes a difference of how you're getting through this. So, taking a look at some of the news today, of course, there is still so much being talked about in regards to this COVID-19. Headlines talking about how Neil Cavuto lashes out at Trump for taking hydroxychloroquine, or I think I'm pronouncing that right. Just when you think you can't make getting better and finding cures political, people are all about what camp they claim to be a part of. In this article, Carlos Garcia shared some of the tweets. One of them said, "Neil Cavuto of Fox News needs to go work for CNN. He's only interested in spreading the same misinformation and as the fake news." And then I won't go say the second part that he said. But, man, in Romans we read this like, this verse says, "Claiming to be wise, they become fools." It reminds us that we want to keep a sense of humility when we speak. Regardless of the side of your own political party, realize that when it comes to the science of this virus, we don't know everything about it yet. This medicine may work great, may do nothing. But the second big headline here, I saw this morning, Pat Sajak takes on paid elites who are urging struggling Americans to work. Breck Dumas writes, "While the overwhelming view exposed from left-leaning elite is that lockdowns nationwide should remain in place, Sajak is not the only public figure who has pushed back against the extended stay-at-home orders that are causing devastating unemployment numbers and business closures. So most people are really passionate one way or the other with the issue of choosing health versus economy when it comes to reopening our country and getting back to work. So if you find yourself in a conversation like this today, keep in mind that what this really is doing is revealing the fear that lives inside each and every one of us. Don't come out for either side, but listen to why a person feels the way they do. Maybe they've experienced a death in their family due to COVID-19. Or maybe their spouse is still out of work and they may not be able to make their house payment this month. You know, as you're going to work today, pray that God would continue to help us know who our faith is found in. Help us to be humble with our so-called wisdom on everything, and that we find balance in our fear for our health and economy. And that in every conversation today, we could bring good news.